No.
Good morning, everyone. Happiness is the real sense of fulfillment that comes from hard work. A very good morning to one all present here. On behalf of our institution, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our today's workshop titled Awareness on Intellectual Property Rights, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai. I hope all are safe and secure. A warm welcome to Dr. M. Murli Krishna, sir, Dean of Engineering and Technology, our VP Academics, Dr. G. Prabhakaran, sir, Head of the Computer Science Department, Dr. K. Raja, sir, and I welcome our resource person, Mr. M. Madan Raj, sir. I also welcome our event coordinators, Mrs. Devahema, ma'am, Mr. Maniraj, sir, and all the faculties and the students. Now, I would like to call upon our MHRD coordinator, Mrs. D. Devahema, ma'am, to introduce our resource person. Please, ma'am.
Yes, very good morning, one and all present here. I would like to welcome our technical person, Mr. M. Madan Raj, Examiner of Patents and Designs, Indian Patent Office, Chennai. He has graduated from Biomedical Engineering from College of Engineering, Guindy. He is skilled in medical instrumentation, radiology, and biomedical applications with a master's degree in biomedical engineering from SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Finally joined as the examiner of patent and designs in Intellectual Property Office, Government of India in the year of 2016. He is the patent examiner with more than 5 years of experience approaching the patent application filed in India with respect to the Techno-Legal Acts in accordance with the Patents Act 1970. He reviews patent application for compliance with laws and regulations. He makes initial reports and gives the result of the research to the Controller of Patents. He does technical research to evaluate claim inventions. We are pleased to have you here, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Please, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a wonderful introduction. With no further delay, we would like to call upon our resource person. Please, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the warm introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the principal and the faculty of SRM IST Ramapuram campus for organizing this seminar regarding intellectual property rights. So without further delay, we'll move to the presentation. Is my voice audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. We'll start with the presentation now. This presentation is all about intellectual property rights. So it is done under the banner NIPAM, that is National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission. So NIPAM is an initiative by the Government of India to reach out to all students all over the country, not specifically to college students, but school students also, to spread them about awareness regarding intellectual property rights, how to file for it, how to apply an intellectual property rights, how to register your intellectual property rights. So we'll deal with all those procedures in the upcoming slides. So this is just a disclaimer and copyright slide. This presentation is just only for educational and awareness purposes. So it should not be reproduced or made or recorded in any format. So let me start with a very interesting example. I know most of you, not most of you, everyone will be using social network these days. So recently, Facebook has changed its name to Meta. How many of you are aware of it? I'm looking at the chat box, or you can unmute the mic and let me know. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, so I need you people to answer. Yes, Shweta Parthasarathi raised hand. You can put it in the chat box, or you can unmute the mic and let me know. Yes. So everyone's aware that Facebook has changed its name to Meta. Okay. So the name Meta, the power of protecting your intellectual property asset. The name Meta doesn't belong to the Facebook, but it actually belongs to a bank called South Dakota Bank. They protected the intellectual property right for the name Meta. So the South Dakota Bank had a Meta financial company. So Facebook owner has to pay a whopping amount of $60 million to get the name Meta rights for them. So Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg, he paid $60 million for getting a name. Now you can understand what is the power of protecting your intellectual property rights. So what is intellectual property? So there are two kinds of property. One is tangible property and the other one is intangible property. Tangible property, one you can feel, touch, which is visible to your eyes. All those things are tangible property. For example, house, car, your mobile phone, and in and around you, whatever you can feel and touch, in the desk, the computer, laptop, all those things are tangible property. What is intangible property? Intangible property, which is something creation of mind, which comes out of your mind. It is an expression of an idea. So intangible properties, you cannot see, feel, or touch it, but it is a creation of mind. So intellectual property is a intangible property. So once you have a land on your own, ஒரு asset நீங்க வந்து tangible asset buy பண்றீங்கன்னா, what will you do? You'll go either buy a house or a car. Once you buy a house or a car, அதை வாங்கிட்ட பிறகு you go and register it. இப்போ கார் வாங்குனீங்கன்னா ஆர்டிஓல ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றீங்க. ஹவுஸ் வாங்குனீங்கன்னா you go and register with the district registrar office. Why do you register it? So that the house is in your name. நீங்க உங்க பேர்ல தான் அந்த வீடு இருக்குன்னு ப்ரூஃப்க்கு நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றீங்க. And you put your time, effort, money to create that, to buy that house. அது வந்து ஒரு tangible asset for you. அதை ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றதுனால you have your own house in your name. அந்த வீடு உங்க பேர்ல இருக்கு. இப்போ if you want to avoid someone else using your home, இப்போ வேற ஒருத்தவங்க வந்து இந்த லேண்ட் என்னோடது அப்படின்னு வந்து claim பண்றாங்கன்னா, what is the proof that you will show that this is your own land? One, you will show your registered document. So all the same principle applies for intellectual property assets also. So once you register your intellectual property, like for example patent or invention create பண்றீங்க, இல்ல ஒரு company name register பண்றீங்க, அப்படின்னா ஒரு story book idea வந்து register பண்றீங்க அப்படின்னா, all these are intellectual properties only. So if you register it with the government of India, you have the proof that this intellectual property belongs to you. So once நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, that intellectual property turns into an intellectual property asset மாறிடுது. So what is the importance and significance of registering your intellectual property? So first thing is you can protect your intellectual property. Once you register it, the intellectual property asset will be under your name. So you can exclude others from using it. Why do you have to exclude others? Because you put your time, effort, money and hard work and create something which is unique, that is out of your mind. And the culmination of all these things will bring up a product that is an intellectual property asset. So that you need to protect it and exclude others from using it. மத்தவங்க வந்து உங்களோட வீட்ல ஆக்குபை பண்ணா you'll get irritated, you'll get upset, right? Same applies for intellectual property asset also. So you need to protect it so that others cannot utilize your hard work and time. So first protect your intellectual property so that you can exclude others. So the ultimate aim of protecting and excluding others is you can utilize those intellectual properties for commercial gain. So for example, if you take a house, once on the house register punting now, what do you do? Either you go and live in your own house, or else you'll give it out for rent, or what will you do? You'll give it out for lease. So you have multiple options because you are the sole owner of the house. The intellectual property asset and register punting now, what are the options for utilization and commercialization? Same other options now, but in a totally different way. So either you can use your own intellectual property asset. நீங்களே வந்து உங்க பேட்டன்ட் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி ஒரு இன்வென்ஷன் கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்கீங்கன்னா you can start manufacturing and selling your own product or process. Or if you have a trademark brand name under your name, you can start using it and you can franchise it. So first you can you own use ko vechikalam, or else you can license or assign it to someone else. Suppose if you're not interested in dealing business in a business way, you are just into research and innovation and inventing, then you can license or assign your intellectual property asset to someone else. அவங்க வந்து they'll take it in the business way, or they'll do the market research and they'll promote the product. Once they promote it, they'll pay you the royalty amount, whatever profits they are gaining from it. Or else you can franchise your intellectual property. Franchise now, for example, if there are multiple fast food chain restaurants, Facebook, like McDonald's, KFC, they have multiple chain food outlets all over the world. How do they do that? They franchise it to someone else. So avangaloda brand name franchise பண்ணிட்டு they open an outlet with the same brand name, trademark brand name. அதை வந்து franchise பண்ணிட்டு they get a royalty amount from it. Or you can merchandise. Merchandise means you can manufacture and sell all the goods which are out of your intellectual property asset. So these are the ways you can earn from your intellectual property asset. So what is the difference between when a common person has an intellectual property asset under his name and a businessman has an intellectual property under his name? So for a common person can be a student or a faculty, or me, anyone can be a common person. So obviously it is a pride for him to own an intellectual property asset, saying out that I have 2 patents under my name or multiple trademark companies under my name. It is a pride for him. And the other advantages, it is a boost to your academics also. So it will help you path your way for your career. You can be more research oriented. You can go settle down in a very good company because of the intellectual property you own under your name. So when it comes to businessman, the perspective is totally different. So he can use those intellectual property asset for commercialization. Once he commercializes it, the brand value of his company increases. Once brand value increases, he can furthermore invest and earn a lot from it. So these are the difference between the common person having an intellectual property asset under his name and a businessman having the intellectual property asset under his name.
So could you go back to the previous slide, sir?
Yes.
Regarding the previous one before this.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. You can go ahead. Thank you. I just want to take a screenshot.
Okay, fine. So there are different types of intellectual property. So there is patent, design, trademark, copyright, geographical indication, semiconductor integrated circuits, layout and design, and trade secrets. So we'll see what are the definition of each and every intellectual property, how to file for your intellectual property, how to get registered for your intellectual property with the Government of India in the upcoming slides. So first, intellectual property is patent. What is patent? So before going into patent, I would like to show you a small statistics of the patent application filed in the top 10 countries all over the world in the year 2019. So if you could see, China has filed around 14 lakhs, that is 1.4 million patents in the year 2019. And India, where can you see in India? It is in 7th position. It has filed around 53,000 patents. So if you take the population of China and India, it is almost 1 billion, which is almost equal as of right now. And in India, the most of the population is filled up with younger generation, the youth, people like you, around the age of 20 to 25. So even though there are a lot of youth inventing a lot of things, but the number of patent applications filed in India and China, there's a massive difference for it. Why? Because there is very much less awareness about intellectual property asset, how to protect your invention or innovations. And moreover, China is filing a lot of patents, and such number of patents filed, they help in boosting their global innovation index. And since most of the people in India are more concentrated on publishing their paper or doing presenting their paper in conference, most of the people are not into patenting their inventions or innovations. So this awareness program will create an insight of how to protect your invention and innovation in India, so that our country is also pushed to the upper limit. As we grow, as we can let the country also grow. So earlier our global innovation index was 86, but right now our global innovation index has been pushed to 46. So we need to push further so that we'll be in the top 10 countries of the top 10 countries of the developed countries, so that we have more invention and innovations getting filed and getting patents in India. So what is a patent? Patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention. So that invention can be a product or a process. The invention on the, it can be a product or process or and the product or a process should be new, and it should have an inventive way of doing something, or else and the product or a process should offer a technical solution for a technical problem. So patent or invention protection. And the invention, it can be a product or process, and the product and the process, it should be new and inventive. Inventive, and or else, for example, if it is not new or inventive, then it should find a technical solution for a technical problem. So for example, if you have a idea with you, or invention or idea, before filing for a patent, you need to check whether it satisfies 3 criteria. Enna 3 criteria? It should be novel, it should be inventive, and it should be industrially applicable. So novel, as per the name suggests, it is something new which is not published anywhere else. Inventive step is, so if for an already existing product or a process, if you're adding an additional feature, or புதுசா ஒரு feature add பண்ணி அதை நீங்க அதோட எஃபிகசியை இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்றீங்க, அப்படி இல்லைன்னா அதோட எக்கனாமிக்கல் சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ் கம்மி பண்ணி அஃபோர்டபுள் ஆக்குறீங்க அப்படின்னா, தட் இஸ் அன் இன்வென்டிவ் ஸ்டெப் கிரைட்டீரியா தட் ஷுட் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை இட். And what is the third criteria? That is industrial applicability. What is industrial applicability? The product or the process which you're filing or which you're inventing, it should be either made or used in the industry, either manufactured or used in the industry. So if your idea, that is invention or innovation, satisfies these 3 criteria, then you can go and apply for a patent and your patent will be granted. So what is the validity of a patent? Validity of a patent is 20 years. For example, if you're applying for a patent the March of 2022. It will expire in the March of 2042. So what is the main purpose for applying a patent? It will give you an monopoly right, and it will exclude others from using your invention. Prevent பண்ணிரும் so that they won't infringe your invention. So that is the main use of protecting your invention, that is called patent. So these are the various examples for patent. So it can be as simple as head cover for a baby, and as complex as an internal combustion engine. So the first picture, it represents the head cover for a baby, and second picture is a foldable hanger. Third picture is a bag with a fan in it, and the fourth picture is a pacemaker, and the fifth picture is a normal brush, and the sixth picture is an internal combustion engine. So it's not always like only complex inventions will be patented. Even simple inventions which offer a technical solution for a simple technical problem can also be patented. So everyone must be very much aware of the song Dangerous by Michael Jackson. So he owns a patent for the shoe which he used in the song. In that song, he made an illusion as if he can lean up to 45 degrees. A normal human can lean up to 20 degrees, but Michael Jackson made an illusion, an anti-gravity illusion shoe. He made it so that he can lean up to an angle of 45 degrees. How does he achieve that? So he uses a base, hitch member, and a shoe to achieve that illusion. And the patent reference number I mentioned in the left bottom corner, you can refer it. This patented shoe is owned by, is under the name of Michael Jackson. So what does this picture represent? I'm looking at the chat box. What is this?
Stumps.
Yeah, it's a stump. What is the difference between this stump and normal stumps?
Lightning.
Yeah, okay.
We can
So-
see that the bales got out when the ball hits the stump.
Yeah, exactly. So once the ball hits the stem, the light will glow, the LED lights in the stems and the bales will glow. So how does it glow? Because it has a displacement sensor placed in it, and even a feather, and there are LED lights which glow when even a feather touch can make the lights glow in the stems. So this is also a patented example for a patented invention. So ICC has to pay a royalty amount to the inventor every time these stems are being used in the cricket matches. So for this, patent application number is also mentioned on the left bottom corner. You can take a referral if you want. So now I think you might have a rough idea of what is patent, what are the things which can be patented. Only inventions and innovations or a product or a process can be patented. So let's move on to the next intellectual property, that is designs. So what is design? Design is simple. So for any article or an ornament, for article or ornament, if you are giving a unique shape or color or pattern, the pattern can be either a 2D pattern or a 3D pattern. So if you are applying all those unique shape or size or color to any ornament or an article, that can be registered for designs. It can be protected under design registration. So how can you
Disara kati yam pakkom pati.
So these are the different examples for design registration. Different shapes of a bottle, or a gold ring with a leaflet, or a toy with different colors. All those things are different examples for design registration. And even custom made clothes by fashion designers, leather jacket or embroidered clothes with beads, all those things can also be registered under designs protection. So as you can see, you'll be using water bottles for drinking. Those water bottles also have different shapes and different lines or patterns on it, so that their brand can be uniquely seen and uniquely represented. That's why all the famous brands, they go for design registration. So what brand does this bottle belong to?
Harpic.
Harpic.
Yeah, how do you say
Harpic.
it's Harpic?
Because we recognized it by the design of the bottle.
Yeah, it's based on the shape of the bottle and the color combination of the bottle, that it has a red cap and a blue body. Without even the brand name mentioned in it, you can easily find out which brand it belongs to because they have a unique shape and color to it. So what does this brand of bottle belong to?
Mr. Muzzle.
Mr. Muzzle, okay, Mr. Muzzle or Colvin also you could say.
Yeah.
So
It's calling basically cleaner.
yes, so this also based on the shape of the bottle and the color combination, you can find out the brand of the bottle very much easily because they have protected it under design registration and no other company could replicate the same shape of the bottle or the color combination which they have used. So this is design. Let's see what is trademark now. So trademark is a sign which is given to a goods or services to distinguish their product or the process. A sign which is capable of distinguishing their goods or services from one enterprise to another enterprise. So what are goods? Goods can be either a shoe product or a mobile phone or a watch. All those things will come under goods. And what are services? Services can be postal services or a courier services or even food delivery services. So Nike, Adidas, Puma, all those things are McDonald's or it will come under goods mark, and Fed Express, Blue Dart, India Post, all those things will come under service marks. So what can be the subject matter of trademark? So you can protect the brand name of the company under trademark, or brand name with the tagline or the slogan. For example, if you take Nike, so Nike has a slogan or a tagline that is just do it, and LG has life's good. So if you could see on the top right corner of Nike symbol, the tick symbol has been trademarked, the Nike name has been trademarked, and the just do it slogan is also trademarked. So multiple trademarks for a single product is also allowed. And the famous MGM Lion Roar, that is also trademark, that is called sound mark, and that is also called smell mark. And logos, that is combination of colors. For example, if you take McDonald's, they have red and yellow combination with yellow, red and white. I am loving it. So all those color combinations of logos is also can be trademarked. So what can be brand name, tagline, sound and logos can be other subject matter of trademarks. So how to indicate your trademark? If a sila company la pathina, they'll mention TM on the top right corner of the name, and some will mention R on the top right corner. What might be the difference between these TM and R? Any guesses? So once the trademark application has been filed, you can start using the symbol TM on the top right corner. Once it has been registered with the Government of India, you can start using the symbol R on the top right corner of your trademark name. So that is about trademark. Let's move on to copyright. What is copyright? Copyright is nothing but an expression of an idea. So idea உங்ககிட்ட இருக்கு. Suppose if you think of writing a poem or writing a new novel, so that is an expression of an idea which is represented on a paper. So that expression of an idea can be protected under copyright. So copyright owner has the rights to reproduce or translate or adapt or perform these expressions of an idea. So very famous examples for copyright, if you could take the movie Sarkar. The Sarkar release the movie director was accused of copying the story from some other writer. So that is a very famous example. And one more example, a movie got released, which is Shyam Singh Roy. In that movie also, the actor, he copies a Bengali book, a novel, Bengali novel, and then he makes a story, he makes a movie out of that book. So he was also infringed of a copyright act, based on the Copyright Act. So these are the basic, very famous examples for it. So for copyright, registration is not mandatory. Already நீங்க ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் இல்ல ஒரு ஐடியாவை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்கனாலே that idea is totally belonging to you. So registration is not mandatory. But if someone else is infringing your idea, or if they are taking adaptation from your work, or they are using referral of your work, and they are copying some things from your work, then you won't have an evidentiary value in court if you don't register it. So it's always better to register your copyright. So what can be copyrighted? So literary works now, it can be poems or stories, or novels, or educational books. All those things are literary works. All those works can be protected under copyright. Paintings, photographs, drawings, films, music, choreography, and sculptures, all these things can also be protected under copyright. So what is the term for copyright? Patent validity 20 years. What is the validity for copyrights? So for literary works, it is the lifetime of the author, and from the death of the author, 60 years. So totally lifetime of the author plus 60 years is the validity for literary works. For other works such as paintings or films or music or choreography, 60 years from the day it was published. Okay. So the next intellectual property right is semiconductor integrated circuits layout and design registry. So what is a semiconductor integrated circuit? Semiconductor integrated circuit, now it is a complex layer of transducers, dielectrics, and semiconductors to perform a electronic circuitry function. Electronic function perform பண்றதுக்கு we design a semiconductor integrated circuit. If you design it in an original, distinctive, and a capable way of showing that it has a unique design, and the circuit layout design வந்து யூனிக்கா இருந்தது, and it has not been commercially exploited anywhere else, மற்றவங்க யாரும் அதே same kind of layout design யூஸ் பண்றனா, then you can protect your semiconductor integrated circuits under the Act, SICLD Act 2000 and SICLD Rules 2001. So that's about SICLD. The next intellectual property is geographical indication. So what is GI? GI na enna? It is a sign which is given to a product based on a geographical origin. That product will have a quality and reputation which are due to that origin. So ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்க, அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து அந்த ஜியோகிராஃபிக்கல் ஏரியாவோட ஒரு குவாலிட்டி அண்ட் ரெப்புடேஷன் அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் கூட இருந்துச்சுன்னா, a GI sign can be given to the product. Examples are திருப்பதி லட்டு, காஞ்சிபுரம் சில்க், மைசூர் சாண்டல் சோப். எதனால வந்து நம்ம இந்த ப்ராடக்ட்லாம் ரொம்ப ஃபேமஸ் ஆன ப்ராடக்ட், இட் ஹாஸ் a unique quality இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம்? பிகாஸ் திருப்பதி லட்டு, because of its shape and size and smell and the taste of that laddu is very unique. So that is registered under GI. And Kanjipuram silk, the silk அங்க காஞ்சிபுரத்துல வளர்றதுனால it has a unique quality to it. And மைசூர் சாண்டல் சோப் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா, அந்த சாண்டல் ட்ரீல இருந்து அதை எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி இதை ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றாங்க. So that also has a unique quality and smell to it. So all those things are registered GI products. So GI product எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா, it will always have a city name or district name before the product name. So can you guys tell me what are the famous GI products you are aware of? Let me give me some examples. What are the famous GI product? I'm looking at the chat box, or you can unmute the mic and let me know. Like Mahabalipuram stone sculptures, Dindikkal Puttu, and the Mari GA product, any famous products you guys are aware of? I'm looking at the chat box. Yes. Yes, please answer. Okay. So other famous examples are Dindikkal Log and Kovilpatti Kadalamittai, Darjeeling Tea, and Kodaikanal Malai Pundu. Apart from these, there are Tanjavur paintings and Tanjavur dolls and Salem mangoes. All those things are registered GA products. So what is a trade secret? Trade secret is a practice or a process that is generally not known outside the company. Yeah, அதை வந்து வெளியே சொல்ல மாட்டாங்கன்னா so that their company value increases, they have an economic advantage over the competitive company. So it is generally protected under a general law of contract only. So it is an confidentiality agreement between the employer and the employees working in the company so that their trade secret is not revealed outside. So what are the very famous examples for trade secret is Google search algorithm. So why there are hundreds of search engines, thousands of search engines out there? Why do we say that Google search engine is the most powerful till now? Because of their Google search algorithm. They've kept it that algorithm as a trade secret till now, so that their search engine is way more powerful than any other search engine because they have protected their algorithm and kept it as a trade secret. Same applies for KFC fried chicken, Coca-Cola, and WD-40. What is WD-40? Anyone? What is WD-40? I can see people raising the hands. You can unmute the mic and let me know, or you can put it in the chat box. Any idea what is WD-40? So WD-40 is a rust removal solution. No other company could replicate that rust removal solution because the chemical composition has been kept as a trade secret within the company itself. And for Coca-Cola also, that secret recipe has been kept as a trade secret within the company so that the other soft drinks company doesn't replicate the taste of the Coca-Cola. So this is what trademark is, trade secret is. Sorry. So if you could see, there is intellectual property everywhere in and around us, the mobile phones, the fan, the air conditioner. It has a trademark name for it. Mobile phones are multiple patented products within it. The laptops which you are using is also has a trademark or patent under it. So the intellectual property assets are everywhere in and around you. So this is a very famous examples of representing you the different intellectual properties in a single product. So if you take a MacBook, the LED display of a MacBook is protected under patents. It has a retina display to it. They claim that it has a retina display, so it has been protected under patent. And the very famous Apple logo, that is protected under trademark. And the body of the laptop is protected under design registration. And the user manual which they give the MacBook to how to set up your MacBook, so that is protected under copyright. And recently also MacBook has claimed that they're using M1 chips which has RAM and ROM on the same chip, so that is protected under SICLD design. So this is just a small quiz to know your understanding of the intellectual property definitions which we have covered till now. So first picture is a painting of a Mona Lisa. So which intellectual property protects the painting of a painting painted by artist? I'm looking at the chat box, or you can unmute the mic and let me know which intellectual property protects painting. Am I audible? Students, faculties, anyone, please answer.
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Okay, fine.
You hear you, sir. Yeah.
So which intellectual property protects? Yeah, people, you can, without raising the hand, you can answer. Unmute the mic and let me know. Or you can put it in the chat box. So painting is protected under copyright. The second picture is a stone sculpture. It is protected under which intellectual property? Anyone? Or you didn't understand what I have talked till now? Sorry? So stone sculpture is also protected under copyright. So third picture is a different product represented. That is a MacBook, an iPhone, iPod. So all those things are different shapes of a product from a single brand. So that can be protected under design registration. So fourth is a brand name, that is distillery. It will be protected under trademark. So fifth is a shape of a bottle. It will be protected under design registration. So now we'll look at the validity for each and every intellectual property. So as I have already told you before, the previous slide when I gave the definition for the patent. So patent has a validity for 20 years. So there's nothing called global or international patent. Suppose நீங்க இந்தியால பேட்டன்ட் ஃபைல் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களோட பேட்டன்ட் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் வந்து வேர்ல்டு வைட்லாம் வேலிடா இருக்காது. ஸோ there's nothing called global or international patent. So இந்த ஸ்லைடோட எண்ட்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆல்ரெடி மென்ஷன்ட் ஆல் ஐபி ரைட்ஸ் ஆர் டெரிட்டோரியல் இன் நேச்சர். Territorial in nature now, your protection is bounded to the country which you are applying your patent application. It has a boundary to it. It cannot exceed that boundary. So if you have applied for a patent application protection in India, your patent application protection will be valid only in India. If you want a protection of patent in German or France, then you need to approach German patent office or France patent office. Then you need to apply your either patent or any intellectual property to that matter to get a protection over there. So all you need to keep this in mind. All IP rights are territorial in nature. So for design registration, the validity is 10 years plus 5 years. You can renew it again. For trademark, the validity is indefinite. For GI, the validity is indefinite. So copyright, I already told you before. For literary works, it is a lifetime of the author plus 60 years. For other works, it is 60 years from the day it was published. So who can apply for an intellectual property? Either a person or a legal representative. So person includes, it can be students or faculties or a firm or a partnership or a startup or an educational institute or a body corporate or a small entity. So all those things, all those people will come under person only. So they can apply for an intellectual property. So for GA க்கு மட்டும் ஒரு single person வந்து intellectual property apply பண்ண முடியாது. GA க்கு வந்து either the members of the geographical area or the association which is representing the geographical area can go and apply for that GA protection. But single person cannot go and apply for GA protection. Okay, let me go for the next slide. So what are the forms you need to submit if you're applying for a patent application in India? And what are the fees you need to pay for getting your patent protection? So let me explain what are the forms you need to submit if you are applying for patent application in India. So first is Form 1. Form 1 is where you submit your basic details such as applicant's name, inventor's name, and your address of service, and the title of the inventions, and your signatures. So it's like a basic KYC only. So all your basic details will be filled in Form 1. What is Form 2? Form 2 is where, sir, could you explain about patent? Yeah, right now explaining about patent application only. So you need to submit certain forms to get your patent application in India. So Form 1 is where you submit the basic details. Form 2 is where you disclose your whole invention. So the abstract, the drawings, the brief description of the drawings, and the prior art, the background of the invention, all those details has to be filed as a complete specification in Form 2. And Form 3 is foreign filing. If you are planning to go for foreign filing of your patent application, if you are planning to get your protection in other countries, then you need to disclose your details in Form 3. And Form 5 is declaration of inventorships. So who are all the inventors involved in creating this invention? So all the inventors' names should be mentioned there in Form 5. And Form 18 is request for examination. So only when you file Form 18, your application will be moved to the examination cell. So for a natural person, so these 5 forms are the basic forms you need for patent application, for filing a patent application in India. So if you go to the fee structure for a company and a natural person, the fee structure is different. So natural person means it can a person includes it can be a natural person or a startup or a small entity or an educational institute. For those people, the basic filing fee will be 1,600, and request for examination fee will be 4,000. So totally, for a natural person, they have to pay 5,600 for a patent application filed in India. And for a company that is other than natural person, they need to pay a basic filing fee of 8,000 and examination fee of 20,000. So totally 28,000 has to be paid by a company if they want to file a patent application in India. So what are the different ways of filing your patent application? So there are two modes where you can file your application, either online or offline mode. So you can either submit your hard copy in the appropriate patent offices, or else there is an online portal where you can upload your invention through the online portal, and you can send it through an online portal for an online filing also. If you're not able to do go to the office directly and submit your hard copy, you can either post it to the office. So either offline mode or online mode, whichever is convenient for you, you can opt that way. So there is a thing called expedite examination. What is expedite examination? Expedite means express examination. So your application will be given priority than the other patent applications which are filed in India. So there are certain categories where you can apply for expedite examination. If you are a startup, then you can apply for an expedite examination. Or if you are a small entity which is registered under MSME, then you can go for an expedite examination. Or if applicant is a female, இப்போ வந்து ஒரு 4 inventors வந்து சேர்ந்து ஒரு patent application file பண்றாங்கன்னா, if one of the inventor is a female and that inventor is also an applicant, the female is also an applicant, then they go apply for an expedite examination. Or if it is a government college or it is a department of the government or any other government establishment, then they can apply for an expedite examination. So the next 2 points are not relevant. We'll skip that and move on to the next slide. So points to remember. So these are the very important points before you apply for a intellectual property protection in India. First point is first protect and then publish. So as a college student, you will be very much keen on publishing your invention or showing it in the conference, in IEEE publications or science of publication, whatever it is. So if you go for publication first and then come for a protection, then if you apply for a patent later point after publishing a work, your own published document can be used as a prior art to kill the novelty of the invention. So first you need to go for patent protection, then go for publishing. So rights are territorial. Already mentioned you what is territorial in the previous slide. And registration is done by the sovereign authority, that is Government of India. So rights are limited for a period, rights for limited period of time. The validity for each and every intellectual property I have explained you the previous 2 slides back. So each and every intellectual property has a particular time limit for it. Then once the time validity is over, it is open for the public use. So there is no automatic relief. That is, if you have a house in your name, what you do, you put a security camera or you put a security person to protect that house, right? So same way, you need to keep track of your intellectual property asset. You need to monitor it continuously so that no one is infringing a product or using a product. So if you find someone else is using your product, then you need to approach the court and file an infringement suit against them. Government of India doesn't go on the protective invention. So no automatic relief. So you need to file the infringement suit against the infringer. So for some intellectual property rights, once it has been registered, you need to pay renewal fees. And on the patent application which is filed in India can be signed by the applicant who is filing that application. It is not always necessary that a patent agent is necessary to mandatory to sign those documents. An applicant can sign all the documents and submit it to the appropriate patent office. So let's quickly summarize what we have dealt till now. So what is patent? Patent is a protection which is given to inventions or innovations. The validity is 20 years. So what is design? Design is the aesthetic appearance of a product, article, or a product. So it has a validity for 10 plus 5 years. What is trademark? Trademark is a distinctive sign which is given to goods or services. The validity is indefinite and you can renew it for every 10 years. So what is copyright? Copyright is a protection for a expression of an idea. That idea can be artistic or literary or music work and or films or choreography. So for literary works, it is a lifetime of the author plus 60 years. And for other works, it is 60 years. So what is GI? GI is a sign which is given to a product based on the geographical origin. And the geographical origin, that product should have a unique quality and reputation with related to the geographical origin. The validity is indefinite. What is SICLD? It is a protection which is given to a circuit design which is unique and original, and that circuit design should perform an electronic circuitry function. The validity for it is 10 years. So where to approach for protection? If you are applying for an intellectual property, you have different offices in India, you need to go and file it over there. So if you want to expand your knowledge about intellectual property, then you can approach RG NIPM in Nagpur, where they conduct extensive courses about intellectual property. We were trained as an examiner from RG NIPM Institute in Nagpur. So if you also want to expand your knowledge about IP, then you can approach them. They conduct courses every year, all over the year, regarding patent, trademark, and copyright, everything. So if you want to apply for a patent application in India, there are 4 offices. That is Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, and Mumbai. So in the previous slides, during the filing procedure, I've told you that you need to file your patent application in the appropriate patent office. What do you mean by appropriate patent office? So appropriate in the sense, so for example, if you are a resident of Chennai, then you need to apply your patent application in Chennai Patent Office. So Chennai Patent Office has the jurisdiction of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. So if you are a resident of any of these states, then you need to approach Chennai Patent Office to file your patent application. So other patent office, for example, Kolkata, Delhi, and Mumbai has their respective state jurisdiction. So for design, if you are applying for a design registration, then you need to apply it in Kolkata. So a trademark registry, the previous offices I mentioned before, and there is an office in Ahmedabad, you can apply it over there. And for GA registry, you need to apply it in Chennai office. And for SICL registry and copyright registry, we have an office in Delhi. You can apply your application over there. So what can we do with IPR? Once you file for a patent or a design or a copyright or a trademark, you will have this, you are the sole owner of it. Once you get registered with all those intellectual property assets, either you can license it or give royalty or franchise it to anyone else. You are the sole owner and proprietor. You have the right to do anything with the protected intellectual property. So what are the career prospects in intellectual property? So if you are a science graduate or an engineering graduate or a technology graduate, you can become a registered patent agent with the Government of India. So Government of India conducts patent agent examination every year. So you can clear those exams and you can become a registered patent agent. Or else if you can also become a patent drafting specialist. What does a patent drafting specialist do? He drafts the complete specification. I've told you for Form 2, you need to disclose your invention as a complete specification. So that complete specification will be drafted by experts such as a drafting specialist. So you can become a drafting patent specification specialist also. Or else you can also become a patent analyst. Patent analyst is one who analyzes your research work, and then he will let you know whether your patent will be granted or refused before applying for a application in the Government of India. So you can also become a patent analyst. Or if you are a law graduate, you can either work in trademark or copyright firms. And then you can also work in IPR policy making in big corporate companies or research companies, research institute. Or you can work in IPR cell in colleges or research institutes. Or else you can clear government exams and become a intellectual property rights officer and work for the government. So these are the career prospects with regards to the intellectual property. So this is a very interesting example of a patent application where a 10-year-old boy has applied for a patent application with the Government of India. So this 10-year-old boy, he was finding a very simple technical solution for a technical problem. The technical problem is he got his hand fractured, so he has to wear a sling around his hand, around the shoulder for the whole day. So he couldn't find the patience to wear it. He was getting drastic pain wearing the sling all over it. So what he did, he tied a support around his waist so that he can rest his hand rather than swinging it all around the way. Rather than putting a sling around his arm, he started resting his hand. So once he started resting his hand around the support system, which is tied around the waist, he could feel less pain and he was also very much comfortable in it. So why I'm quoting this example is because you don't need he's a 10-year-old boy and he applied for a patent application. So you don't need a science degree, or you don't need an engineering degree, or you don't need a research, you don't need to be a PhD candidate or a scientist to apply for a patent application in India. All you need to find is a technical solution for a technical problem which is existing in and around you. And once you find it, then you can go and apply for protection by applying for a patent application. So start inventing and innovating and apply for patent. And as a country also we can grow, as a person also you can grow, you can improve your intellectual property knowledge. So that's it with the end of the presentation. Let's just have a small quiz and then we can wrap up the presentation. So can you find the famous trademark names which are mentioned in the crossword puzzle? I'm looking at the chat box. Any famous trademark names? Dettol, yes. Any other names? Any other names? Yes, Dettol, Pepsi, Cadbury, Link. Okay, good. So why do we say it's famous brand names? Because all these brand names are protected under trademark. Since they are protected it, they have the unique brand value to each and every company, so that no other company could replicate that brand value and reduce the quality of the work they are doing. Since they protected it under trademark, these brand names are famous all over worldwide. So let's move on to the next question. So which type of IP protects the painting painted by artist? Either it is copyright or GA or patent. No, John, it's not designs. Jayan Krishna answered correctly. It is copyright. So yes, copyright is the right answer. So paintings are protected under copyright. So let's move on to the next question. So which IP protects the products which are created by fashion designers? What protects the intellectual property created by fashion designers? Yes, registered design. That is the right answer. Yes, RD. Registered design is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question now. So which of these is a geographical indication? Yes, Paitani sari is a geographical indication. What does a trademark protect? Whether it protects an invention or a work of art, logos, names, or a secret formula, what does a trademark protect? Trademark protects logos, names, and brands. Yes. So what is the validity for patent? I told you multiple times during the seminar. Yes, 2020. Yes, exactly. If you write an original story, what type of intellectual property gives you the right to decide who can make and sell copies of your work? So he wants to protect his story. So which, yes, Jayan Krishna answered it right again. John, yes, copyright is the right answer. Thank you. Thanks a lot for so many answers. So imagine a cricketer sets up his own company to sell his own range of clothes. What type of intellectual property can he use to show that the clothes are made by his company? So the cricketer wants to show that the clothes are made by his company. So which type of IP he has to go for? Yes, trademarks. Trademarks is the right answer. How do you show out a company name, represent a company name? By protecting the company's name, by protecting it under trademark. So if he wants to protect the clothes which are manufactured by his company. If he wants to show that the clothes are made different, it has a unique identity for all those clothes, unique design or embroidered, then it can be registered under designs. Yes, exactly. So the next question is, if a company develops a new technology that improves its main product, what type of intellectual property can they use to stop others from copying their invention? So he wants to protect his invention. Yes, patent is the right answer. Okay. So since everyone has answered all the questions correctly, will be receiving an e-certificate from the government of India like this. This is a sample certificate. So any other queries, questions regarding how to file patent? This is the time to utilize me. Any questions or queries? Either unmute the mic and let me know, or you can put it in the chat box. No questions, no queries. Shall we end the presentation? Patent agent are okay. I've received such. How will we receive such? So patent agents are individual for every company. What I couldn't understand your question. Please, can you, Jayant Krishna? Can you reframe the question and ask again? What do you want to know? How will we receive certificate? You will be receiving it through your mail ID, which you will be submitting.
Thank you so much, sir. I request the participants.
I have one more question. Just a minute.
Yes, sir, please.
Every company has their own agent for analysis. Yeah, that. Yeah, the company, it's on the company's wish only. If they wish to have a patent agent, they will be having a patent agent. Sir, if I do a startup and don't get a patent, what all the cons will be facing? The first con which you'll be facing is someone might come and infringe your work. Someone might come and copy your work, and you won't have the right to exclude them from using your work. Only if you get your inventions protected or start whatever work you are doing, which you get registered with government of India, then you have a solid proof that it belongs to you. So the first thing you need to do is get a protection or register your intellectual property right, so that others could you can avoid others from using your work. That is the main con which you can avoid. Apart from that, business wise, I cannot guide you on which kind of cons you'll be facing if you are starting a startup. So okay, I hope I answered it. Any other questions?
Participants are requested to post your questions in the chat box. I request all the participants, if you have any doubts, kindly put it in the chat box.
Okay, I don't think I'm getting any messages. So if you have any more queries, further queries, you can mail it to nipamchennai@gov.in. And if, this is our official website, that is ipindia.gov.in. If you want to apply for any intellectual property, file it online, you can visit this website. There's a clear guidelines and an online portal to for filing of all the intellectual property rights. So thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge regarding intellectual property rights. I hope it was a very useful session for you guys. And thanks a lot. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. So now I kindly request all the participants to fill the feedback form which is posted in the chat box. We'll wait for a few minutes. Once feedback link has been filled, we will move on to the vote of thanks speech. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot
sir.
for
Thank you
giving me
so
the
much.
opportunity also.
I kindly request all the participants to fill the feedback form. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. So we have come to the end of this session today. Now we'll move on to the vote of thanks speech. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering,
No, I'll switch on the video.
SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai. It's an honor for me to express my gratitude to everyone present here on this day for the workshop. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks speech and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this program a great success. I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our resource person, Mr. M. Dhanraj, sir, who spared his time from his busiest schedule to grace this event. Thank you so much, Madan Raj, sir. The session was so interactive and informative with all those real life examples. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank our management, respected Director, Dean Sir, VP Academic, Head of the Computer Science Department, Dr. K. Raja Sir, for giving this wonderful opportunity. I'm glad to thank our faculty coordinators, Mrs. D. Devahema ma'am and Mr. Maniraj Sir for their support. I'm very thankful to the entire participants of this meeting. Be safe and secure. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I kindly request again all the participants to fill the feedback form. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your amazing speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks.